What is up, YouTube? CoPro here with yet another video. Today we are going to be reacting to 10 hidden Pokemon Go secrets finally revealed. The original link will be down in the description below. Let's get right into the video.
Pokemon Go has become the most popular mobile app in 2016. Even though
Yep.
there are millions playing the game, it doesn't mean that everyone knows what they're doing. Here are 10 Pokemon Go secrets you didn't know. Curveball. Once you've mastered being able to throw the Pokemon,
I cannot do a curveball for crap. Listen, I try every time, I try to catch a Pokemon, I do curveball the first one or two times, miss, then I'm like, screw it, I just do a regular throw. It's only 10 XP, I mean, it's not worth wasting all your Pokeballs for 10 XP because I just don't have good accuracy with the curveball. Some people might, but I just don't. I don't know what I'm doing wrong or something like that, but I do not have good accuracy throwing the curveball.
with a simple flick, it's time to try out the Curveball. As you progress through each level, getting as much XP as possible will help you, as well as to capture some of the more difficult Pokemon. What you do is press and hold the Pokeball, then drag and spin the ball into a circle until it starts spinning and sparkling. Where you would normally throw the ball straight, flick it more to
That's
the
what
right
I do.
and
I
repeat
throw
this
the
until you
ball
capture the Pokemon.
straight.
Once you master this technique, you'll get an extra 10 experience points, which will add up quickly. Pikachu. Haven't started playing Pokemon
Let's
Go?
see if I get this right. Okay, Pikachu. When you spawn in the game, instead of picking the 3 Pokemon, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle, you walk away from them. Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle will pop up 5 times. If you walk away that 5th time, Pikachu will pop up. Let's see if I'm right.
Yeah, here's how you capture Pikachu, the most well-known and popular Pokemon, before those who've been playing for a while do. While you first start playing the app, you'll get a set of starter Pokemon, such as Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charmander. Instead of catching one of them, walk away. You'll get another alert for the Pokemon once again. Walk away 5 times, and then Pikachu will appear as your new fancy starter Pokemon.
I was right.
Your evolution. Eevee has 3 evolutions: Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. Those who've been evolving their Eevees manually have depended on the luck of the draw.
I have a Vaporeon and a Jolteon. I have not yet got a Flareon. The reason for that is because I don't have enough Eevee candies to evolve another Eevee. Once I do, I'm just going to name it Pyro and get all 3 evolved forms of Eevee. Because Eevee, the evolved forms of Eevee are so good. Jolteon and Flareon are really good. I think I was watching a video and I heard that they really destroyed the overpowerness per se of the not the Flareon, the Vaporeon. They really they took away its greatest attacks and stuff, and now it's just like an average Pokemon. It used to be like one of the best, and now it's just an average Pokemon because they took away the overpowerness of it per se. Once again, I'll just make up a word: overpowerness.
Draw to see which ones they want. But
you guys know what I mean.
To pick your preferred evolution. Think back to the trainers from the original
Rainer,
show.
Sparky,
Rainer,
and Pyro.
And Sparky. If you want a Vaporeon, name your Eevee Rainer. If you want a Flareon, name your Eevee Pyro. And if you want a Jolteon, name that Eevee Sparky. This secret has been tested and trained by other players, and it turns out to be true. Tracking. If you click on the window of the lower right, you'll see a grid with nearby Pokemon listed with a set.
They took out tracking in the latest update. I hate that, dude. It made the game more fun with tracking because the reason for that was when I was on vacation, there was you know how back when there was tracking, there was whenever you were getting closer to a Pokemon, even though it was the 3-step glitch, whenever you were moving closer to a Pokemon, it would move up and down in the rankings of the nearby. Now it doesn't do anybody. Now it doesn't do any of that. It doesn't move up and down the rankings. It doesn't have any steps. It just tells you what Pokemon are nearby. And they took away Poki Vision 2, which sucks.
Of paw prints underneath each one. If there's nothing under the
But I
images,
still like
Pokemon
the
is
game, though.
practically underneath you and very close. Or if there is only one paw print, it means the Pokemon is nearby. The Pokemon on the
I just think that was a bad business move by Niantic to take away being able to track Pokemon, because that's what was fun about the game, being able to track Pokemon. Like if a rare Pokemon came up and you're nearby, you'd get a group of friends. If you have a group of friends with you, you'd split up, and then one person would yell out, "Oh, it's closer to me than you. Come over here. We're going to catch it." And all of that, and that's what made the game fun. But without tracking, now no one knows. You'd be walking all over for hours. Nobody knows where it is. And I think they despawn after 10 minutes anyway.
top left is the closest to you, and the ones in the lower right are the furthest from you. Select the Pokemon you want to find, and this will help you gauge whether or not you're heading in the right direction of your desired Pokemon.
Yep.
If the Pokemon you desire
I
moves
love
closer
that.
to the left,
I
you're
loved
heading in the right
that.
direction. If it moves
But
to
they
the right,
took it
you're
out.
going the wrong way. Though this won't work until the dreaded 3 steps glitch has been fixed. Getting more Pokemon.
The way I tracked without the 3-step glitch was I knew I was getting closer to a Pokemon. You know how, like, there's 3 Pokemon per row, and there's three rows on the nearby. So if it goes from the last Pokemon in the 3rd row to the first Pokemon in the 1st row, you know you're really close to catching the Pokemon. But whenever it stays the last Pokemon in the last row, you know you're going farther away from the Pokemon. That's how I did it. I don't know if that's a real way of doing it or not, but that's just how I did it.
If you're going to be at one location for a while and you want to make the most of your Pokemon hunting, then turn on a lure module. It's recommended that you turn these on in bars, restaurants, and shops for optimal catch.
Lure modules are the best. I was at a Poki Stop. Like, when I was on vacation, my hotel that I was in was a Poki Stop. The hotel itself was a Poki Stop. So I put a lure module on. I was just sitting in the room for the night. I put a couple of lure modules down. I caught like 60 Pokemon in an hour worth of my lure modules being down. 60 Pokemon. They just kept on popping up. I couldn't even close the app for a minute. They just kept on popping up. Rare Pokemon too. I think I caught a Vaporeon. What are those called? A Poliwhirl, or the fully evolved form of a Poliwag, I think. A fully evolved form of a Poliwag. I also caught a War Turtle with a lure module being on for like an hour. Well, I put 2 lure modules down, but I used like an hour worth of lure modules, and I got Vaporeon, fully evolved form of a Poliwag, and a War Turtle, all in that 1 hour. And I caught a bunch of Bulbasaurs. So those lure modules are amazing.
There's a good chance that a rare one might make an appearance as well. Along with a lure, you can use an
Oh, I already
insect.
told
All
you
need
that
to do is
story
sit
in
and
the
wait
last
for
video
Pokemon
about
to literally
me
come right to you.
having
Toss
to
a
run
lucky
away
egg
from
on
a
top of the ball and
Snorlax,
you'll
or
be
the
leveling up
Snorlax
in
ran
no
away
time.
from me.
Catching harder Pokemon. As you progress through each level, you'll encounter rare Pokemon as well as Pokemon with higher CP, making them more difficult to capture and contain in the Pokeballs. This can be really frustrating, especially if you encounter a rare Pokemon that just keeps breaking free of its Pokeball. But once you hit level 6, you'll be able to obtain
Raspberries.
which will calm the Pokemon down somewhat and give you a better chance for capture and containment. On top of this, at higher levels, you'll obtain Great and Ultra Balls to help trap those pesky Pokemon.
Alright, so I have a story to tell you. I had a Snorlax, that's what it was. I wasted 40 raspberries and 40 Pokeballs on this Snorlax. And guess what happened? It ran away from me. I wasted 40 Pokeballs and 40 raspberries. I cannot believe it to this day. I should have that Snorlax. I deserve that Snorlax. I still believe that I deserve that Snorlax to this day because I wasted $2. I bought $2 worth of Pokeballs and I had 80 raspberries, and now I only have like 21 after the whole Snorlax thing because I couldn't catch the Snorlax because in the CP was question marks too. I think it would have been like 1,500 or something. That's why I couldn't catch it with a Pokeball. I would have had to use an Ultra Ball, but I'm not a high enough level to obtain an Ultra Ball yet because my friend caught it and it was 1,500. But I'm not sure if it would have been that for me or not. If it would have, that's probably why I didn't catch it, because you need an Ultra Ball to catch it. He used an Ultra Ball and he caught it like third or fourth try. He used like 3 raspberries and 4 Pokeballs, and he caught it, but or 4 Ultra Balls, I'm sorry. And I only had Pokeballs on me, so he caught it with Ultra Balls and I caught it with Pokeballs. If I would have had an Ultra Ball, I probably would have caught it. Makes me so mad even to this second.
Before Pokemon Go, Niantic created another geo-catching game called Ingress, which is a similar treasure hunting game. Turns out that Pokemon Go uses the same maps as Ingress to populate their Pokestops and gyms. So, if you're an Ingress player and you see a portal on your map, they translate to Pokestops. Also, did you know that Pokestops refresh after 5 minutes, so there's no need to just use a Pokestop once?
I figured that out just a few days ago, that Pokestops refresh after 5 minutes, because I used the Pokestop at the top of my neighborhood once. I thought I was never going to be able to use it again. I was like, oh, now where am I going to go to find a Pokestop? Because I live in a rural area. Where am I going to go to find a Pokestop? Then when I went on vacation, I found out that you can hit the Pokestop once every 5 minutes. Now I walk up like once or twice a day and hit that Pokestop. But if I would have never went on vacation, I would have never found out you can hit the Pokestop once every 5 minutes. I would have been screwed because I would have never went back up to hit that Pokestop. Now, like twice a day, I go up to hit the Pokestop, and I'm just trying to build up my Pokeballs and my raspberries and stuff before I start catching Pokemon again.
Gym battles. Most players think that CP, or combat power, makes the final decision on whether or not your Pokemon can beat the dominator of a gym. That's not quite the case if you know the loophole. When you battle your enemy...
I tried one gym battle, and I beat the first Pokemon in the gym. It took 2 of my Pokemon out for the first Pokemon because it was a CP 1200, and my highest 2 Pokemon are an 860 and an 815. So it took me those 2 Pokemon to take out the 1200. Then I was like, oh, screw it, I'm just going to leave. I got too far away because I was driving anyway to vacation, so I got too far away. But I would have left because I don't have that many revives, because revives are the thing I usually delete to get more space in my Pokeball, get more space in my bag.
You have the ability to dodge left or right and avoid enemy attacks. The enemies you battle are...
I didn't know that. You dodge left and right? I'm gonna use that next time I defeat a gym, bro. I did not know that.
Pokemon to battle. By strategically selecting your Pokemon, for example, using your Charmander, Fire, to beat a Bulbasaur, Grass, you have a better chance of victory and taking over the gym. Turn AR off.
Alright, we are gonna leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I may make another reaction video tonight. I might not, so stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.